Welcome, my name's Gaynor from FitFish, and in this video I'm going to be falling off the wagon. So this is a phrase that's bandied about quite a lot. I hear it quite a lot. I don't know if it's something that you use yourself or you hear your friends say, but maybe give me a yes if you use the phrase I've fallen off the wagon. It can make you feel disheartened, disillusioned, discouraged. You feel like you're a bit of a failure, and getting on and off something, to be honest, is also very, very tiring. So I want to help people to break free from this kind of thinking and this kind of wording and this kind of terminology. So it's good to have a think about what you actually mean when we say falling off the wagon. Hello, hi Catherine, good to see you. So yeah, if you use this word falling off the wagon, what do you actually mean? Maybe give me a bit of a clue. Is it, hi Gail, yeah, good to know that that's sometimes in the past, that's awesome. So do you feel like you eat one thing that you think you shouldn't? Is it that you eat lots of things in a row that you think you shouldn't, or you have a few days like that? Is it when you go over the top and feel a bit bloated? What do people mean when they say falling off the wagon? So use it all the time, but being on the wagon feels good. Okay, interesting. So I don't think it's a great terminology. I don't think it's a great way of living, to be honest. I've certainly been there in the past and I know what it's like, but it's much, much better to just live life normally and kind of live and eat normally, and it is totally possible. So 3 ways to stop yourself falling off the wagon, or not stop yourself falling off the wagon, but stop yourself using that terminology. First of all, you need to look inside of you. Are there some what I call ridiculous rules that are in place? So some rules inside you. So it could be don't eat too many carbs. It could be don't eat after a certain time. It could be chocolate's bad. It could be don't eat Chris. What are those rules that have kind of inside of you that have come about from perhaps your dieting history, or from your past experience, or from other people, magazines, whatever it is telling you? And it might be that you've swallowed these in one big chunk, or it might be that just over your life you've drip fed stuff to yourself, or other people have drip fed stuff to you that feeds that kind of dieting mentality. So unbeknownst to yourself, subconsciously, you're saying, when you eat certain food, you're saying, shouldn't have that, shouldn't have that, shouldn't have that. And that's part of the problem. So you've got this internal policing system that doesn't need to be there. No food is inherently bad. No food is absolutely inherently good. It's possible to eat good foods for the wrong reasons. It's possible to eat bad foods for the right reasons. So no food is inherently good or inherently bad. So we need to try and recognise when we've got these little rules going around, like don't eat white pasta, or don't eat after a certain time, or don't eat that with that. Recognise them and ridicule them and say, hold on, where is this coming from? Where have I learned that from in the past? And then, of course, we need to get rid of them and replace them with the truth. So I love just saying that no food is inherently bad. All food can serve a purpose. Those are the things that are healthy to say, because food can be for nutrition, but it can also be for enjoyment. I think God could have definitely invented us so we didn't need to eat food, or we just could have a little pellet or something like that, but he didn't. He invented food for our enjoyment. So it doesn't have to necessarily always be because we're hungry, and for nutritional value there is the enjoyment element as well. So replace some of those rules that you've got inside you that make you feel like you're breaking rules, you're committing a crime, you're feeling a bit guilty. So that's the first thing, is to recognise that kind of dieting mentality and the rules. And the second one is, when you fall off a wagon, inevitably it's probably too small and too uncomfortable. So you're falling off something because actually you don't really find it very easy to be on it, because it's too restrictive. So if you're restricting anything in your life, whether that's your food or watching television or, I don't know, calling or texting a certain person, whatever you're trying not to do something of, you know exactly where your mind will go and where your thoughts will go. And the moment you have just some weak resolve or something happens, stressful situation, emotional situation, then if you're restraining yourself, those are the things that will go and those are the things that you'll turn to. And so your wagon could be too restrained and too strict. So you need to imagine you could eat anything you wanted with no negative consequences. Then you most likely wouldn't feel the need to finish off a children's buffet or to finish a whole bag of crisps or to finish a whole bar of chocolate. If you just knew you could have anything at any time, anything you wanted, it would be different, wouldn't it? And your eating would just fall into a good, healthy pattern. So you need to take away those kind of restraints, really strict restraints you have on yourself, and make sure that you know you can actually eat anything you want to at any time. You can. You can do that. Everything is permissible. But the key is what you really want to be eating. Do you really want to be eating the kind of things that make you feel you're off the wagon, or feel those behaviours that make you feel that you're going off the wagon? That's the area that you work on, is actually thinking, what do I really want to eat now? Because I can eat that, that's totally fine. And if you want to, go for it and give yourself permission. But if actually you don't really want to, then don't have it. And it's easier said than done, but it takes a little bit of work. But stepping back, using your adult part of the brain and thinking bigger picture, what do I actually want here, is quite key. So you have permission to eat anything you want at any time you want, if you really want it. And I'm giving you that permission now. And the third point is, don't have strict lines, don't have black and white. So try not to do any kind of calorie counting, any kind of points counting, because I know that that can be dangerous. Because when I did Weight Watchers and I got to 20 points, if I had 21 or 22, instead of just thinking, oh, that's okay, that's fine, that's quite close to it, I would just have a blowout because I'd blown it, as it were. I'd fallen off the wagon. So if you've got those really strict lines, you will feel like you're either on or off something. So soften the lines, blur the lines. What kind of person are you? So instead of saying, oh, I eat rubbish a lot of the time, can you say, I eat healthily most of the time, and that's my only aim, is to eat healthily most of the time. And then you won't feel like you're on something or off something. I feed my body with good food most of the time. I'm really mindful about what I eat most of the time. That kind of thing. Mostly nutritious foods that we know serve our body well, but also enjoying foods that don't necessarily have that purpose, but have the purpose of enjoyment. So those are my 3 tips for you. So make sure that you haven't got lots of ridiculous rules going on inside you. And if you have, try and work them out and replace them. And number 2 is making sure that your wagon isn't too restrained, that you're not cutting out whole food groups or certain types of food, because you will go for them. And number 3 is blurring those lines. And it's a much better place to be when you're not on or off a wagon. So I hope those things have helped you. Do give me a message, type anything that stood out from you there. What are you going to work on? What's your action from this? If I'm on it, it means I'm controlling a good diet and exercise. Falling off is when that fails. So again, failure, we don't need to talk like that, because it's a bit of a balance, isn't it? Hey, you're gonna have. I've been at a kids' party this afternoon. I've had a couple of slices of pizza, some random pink wafers, and I think like a sweet or something. Like, it's not, it's not particularly part of my healthy bit, but I mainly do that, and that's fine. So 4 salted caramel ice cream. So if you find you're kind of overeating on a certain thing and you're gorging, then that might be going into emotional eating, also going into the sugar cycle. So that's something that you can look at further. But imagine if you knew that having one salted caramel ice cream is absolutely fine. Would you really, really want another one then? So worth thinking about. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I might have to re-record it. There's probably something going on with Facebook, but yes, maybe I'll re-record if it's not going very well. But anyway, I hope you caught most of that, and if you need any more help, then you might want to consider our End Emotional Eating course, and I'll type the link into the comments. Okay, take care and see you soon. Bye bye.